What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl. How you doing? Happy Friday to you all. So, as promised, one of my subscribers asked me to, talk about James St. James because I did do a story about, the club kids and stuff like that, and I also talked about Michael Alec, um, death when he had passed away. I did talk about that, and they was interested and they wanted me to talk about James St. James because he was part of Club Kid. Okay, so what we know, his name was James Clark. Okay, before it became James St. James, and he was born August 1st, 1966, in Saginaw, Michigan. Okay, his occupation: party promoter, novelist, television personality. And I guess his genre of whatever he likes to do is true crime and fiction. Okay. So, his early life and education. James grew up in an affluent family in Saginaw, Michigan, where he lived with his mother after his parents' divorce. In the summer, he would go stay with his father and younger and older siblings in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, until he moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida for high school after reading Andy Warhol's book Popism, The Warhol 60s. St. James moved to New York City in 1984, where he studied performing arts at NYU, which is also New York University, for 2 years before being absorbed into the the New York's club scene. Okay. St. James lived a celibate lifestyle after becoming a close friend of nightlife icon and columnist Michael Musto. His career. Okay, well, in the late 1980s, St. James became friendly with Michael Alec, although at first he and the other club personalities shunned the newcomer. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm learning something. Michael soon created his own scene by gathering up other creative personalities of the nightlife world. He used his flamboyant style and engaged in self-promotion and innovative theme parties. St. James morphed from celibate to club kid while helping Michael create the new scene. So that's how him and Michael became, the club kids and kind of close. Okay, so Michael and James threw many parties together, eventually setting up the Disco 2000 Club night at the New York City club, the Limelight. Now, I have spoke about the Limelight before. The Limelight is a club, well, it used to be a club in New York City that was built. It was a church, okay? When you walk up to the Limelight, you think you're going to church. But it was a church, but inside, baby, it used to be popping. It used to be banging. You hear me? I've heard plenty of stories about the Limelight and what goes down in the Limelight. Just like the Tunnel and the Palladium. Honey, I heard a lot of stories. So, I'm just letting y'all know. New York City has always been lit. It's always been lit. St. James wrote several columns, most famously for the short-lived New York City-based gay publication Outweek during the magazine's 2-year lifespan, from 1989 to 1991. James appeared many times on television talk shows to discuss the club kids during the 1980s and the 1990s, including the Oprah Winfrey Show, the Phil Donahue Show, the Jerry Springer Show, Geraldo, and Joan Rivers. Okay? Let's see. So he's done a lot. I can actually say he has been very active in the movie department as well. He has written books called, his debut book was called Disco Bloodbath in 1999. It's a memoir that describes his life in the club scene and documents the infamous rise to fame of Michael Alec and Michael's murder of Andre Angel Melendez. The film Party Monster, the shockumentary, was in 1998, was released prior to but based on events in Disco Bloodbath as the film Party Monster in 2003. So there's two Party Monsters. One that came out in 1998 is called Party Monster, the shockumentary, and then the regular Party Monster in 2003. Okay. Freak Show and the 2000s. St. James published a second book called Freak Show in 2007, a comedy romance about a teenage drag queen who attends a new school and forges a relationship with the football team quarterback. Freak Show was named to the American Library Association Best Books for Young Adults. The book was adapted into a feature in 2017 by Maven Entertainment. The film was directed by Trudy Styler and stars Alec Lothar, Abigail Breslin, and Bette Midler. James, excuse me. Hold on one second. James art shows of the World of Wonder Gallery for the production company World of Wonder, makers of both Party Monster, the shockumentary, 1998, and Party Monster, 2003. Okay, and blogs regularly on World of Wonder's website, The Wow Report. Okay. In the 2000s, see, I'm learning something as I go along as well. So this is a good video for the both of us. Okay, so in the 2000s, St. James has made regular appearances on America's Next Top Model, Cycles 5, 7, and 11, presenting contest skill challenges to the aspiring models. St. James also appeared in Season 2, Episode 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race, where he interviewed the top 4 contestants on a red carpet before they walked the runway. St. James currently has a long-running web series through the World of Wonder channel Wow Presents, titled Transformations with James St. James. The web series features various makeup artists, drag queens, club kids, and RuPaul's Drag Race alumni giving St. James themed makeovers, which is cool. And you know what? I think I came across a few of those videos on YouTube. Wow Presents. That's how I came. You'll learn a lot, and and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I seen a few of those. Okay, so I did tell you guys his his films. Party Monster Freak Show was in 2018. Party Monster 2003, and Party Monster the shockumentary 1998. Okay, so that's what I gave you guys so far. Now, who was he influenced by? Well, he's influenced by Andy Warhol, Truman Capote, Tennessee Williams, Charles Dickens, and more. Okay. So, he's well established. He is well established. He really is. And this helps me get to learn a little bit more about him, because I didn't really know too much about him. I just heard of Michael and a few others. But Michael stood out a lot because of his, of what he did. So that's why I knew more about Michael and stuff like that. So, but yeah, James St. James didn't have a boring life. I tell you that much. He didn't have a boring life. He does have an Instagram, though. But he doesn't post all the time. It's from the way I looked at it, he had one for December. He didn't put any pictures up for January. But I think he posts monthly or whenever he feels like it. But yeah, he was a club kid. He knew Michael Alec very well. And as I said in here, they did things together. Okay. So yeah, that's all I got on him as well. It didn't have a lot on here. So, but you know what? Even though it didn't have a lot, it is a lot because he did so much. You get what I'm saying? He did a lot, and he's still working to this day. But you know what? What you need to do, if you want to know a lot about the 80s and stuff like that. The limelight, the palladium. I don't mind talking about the limelight, the palladium. I might just do a Flashback Friday and do a lot of clubs. We talk about a lot of different club scenes. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comment section, because I do like to give a little bit of history about New York. That's my city. That's New York City is me all day, you know. And I would like to share that history with you guys. So if there's somebody you want me to talk about, I will do my research and I will come back on here, you know, when I can, probably on Fridays for Flashback Friday, and I will talk about them. But Mr. James St. James has, let me tell you something, lived a wonderful life. He is very talented. He is awesome. He is very established. You know, he knows everyone. He knows the in crowd. And also, go back to Nelson Sullivan's videos. I think his YouTube channel is called Ninth and Fifth and Ninth. I think it is Fifth and Ninth. But once you type in Nelson Sullivan, his videos will pop up. And let me just tell you, start from the beginning on down to the end, and you will see so much history he have in these videos. Because for number one, he's the first vlogger. Nelson Sullivan is the first vlogger, okay? He had his camera walking around when it was not even popular to do so. So that's why I call him the first vlogger. And you'll hear about Michael Musto, the Pop-Tarts. You will even see RuPaul in most of his videos, okay? He was around a lot of people that cared for him, that loved him, okay? He even filmed the gay parade in that time. It wasn't as much people, you know, doing that time in the parade like it is now. Okay, because you got to think about it. Back then in the 80s, a lot of stuff was going on. You had the crack scene and you had AIDS, HIV that hit really hard. So some people died. And even the guy, I don't know what his name is, even the guy said it in the videos that, oh my God, this is so sad. Like, the way he said it was funny, but it wasn't funny. He said, oh my God, this is sad. Everybody's probably dead because of how little of the parade was, you know. And around that time, AIDS had hit the scene, and it was a scary time. You know, people were saying how AIDS was a gay man's disease, and all of the lesbians and the gays, they brung it here. They it's their disease, and it's not true, because everybody was getting it. If you was on drugs and you shared a needle, and if that person had it, you got it from them. If you had unprotected sex, you got it from them. You get what I'm saying? So, honey, the 80s was something, but you know what? The 80s for me was the best time. The 80s and 90s was the best time of my life. It really was. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I found out some things about James St. James that I didn't even know. See, we both learned here. All right, you guys, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.